Hey, gorgeous. Welcome to Season 3 of the Hormone P.U.Z.Z.L.E Podcast. I'm your host, Coach Kayla Smith, CEO of the Hormone P.U.Z.Z.L Society, a women's health hub for fertility, hormones, and pregnancy, an integrative, holistic nutritionist, doctor of natural medicine and training, creator of the Hormone P.U.Z.Z.L method, an infertility warrior, two-time boy mom, and women's health expert. This podcast is for women struggling with infertility, painful periods, terrible PMS, or really just any symptoms of hormone imbalance that they are ready to eliminate for good. Tune in weekly as we interview amazing experts in the field of women's health, breaking down those hormone walls, nerding out on nutrition, and having way too much fun. Whether you're beginning your journey or you've been struggling for years, we're going to finally help you put those pieces of your hormone puzzle back together so that you can get pregnant and eliminate those pesky symptoms for good. Not to mention, stay pregnant, have a healthy super baby, and easy postpartum. Are you ready? This season is packed with even more expert guests, sharing groundbreaking knowledge, giving you that jolt of energy that you so desperately need, sending you lots of virtual hugs, and inspiring you to take your fertility into your own hands and make that baby. Thank you all so much for tuning in and being amazing listeners. So now let's get started on your road to transformation. On today's show, we have Andrea Dahr. She found herself in a high-risk pregnancy with twins and was determined to eliminate additional health risks by switching to safe beauty, baby, and household products. Upon learning that personal care products are largely unregulated, Andrea started educating herself on ingredients and avoiding those associated with adverse health effects. In 2019, she launched her blog, switchnatural.com, to share what she was learning with others, including the non-toxic products she loves just as much as conventional ones. Andrea has built a strong and supportive community on Instagram where she shares product feedback and information on ingredients. This year, Andrea launched her app, Switch Natural, to make it easy for people to switch to natural products. App users can scan products online or in store, no barcode necessary, to find out what potentially harmful ingredients they contain, if any, including ingredient descriptions and relevant research related to its toxicity. Users can also shop Andrea's favorite non-toxic products on the app. Today, we're talking all about non-toxic beauty products and what toxins do to your fertility and hormones, and how to switch in an easy and very less overwhelming way. So now let's welcome Andrea to the podcast. Hey, Andrea, welcome to the podcast.
Thank you, Kayla. I'm happy to be here.
I know. I'm super excited to talk to you about toxins today. So let's dive into that. Tell us a little bit more about you and how you started working around toxins, and then your inspiration behind writing your blog and creating your app, Switch Natural.
Sure. So I really dove into this when I was pregnant with my twins. That was back in 2014. And I quickly learned that it was a very high-risk pregnancy. There was a lot that was just going to be out of my control. That was just the way that it was. And I think, like a lot of expecting parents, I was like, I'm going to clean up my lifestyle so that I can get rid of any extra risk possible. So one of the ways I thought I would do that is get rid of harmful products. And what I thought would be a very easy switch over to safe products was not at all. It was very confusing. It was really hard to find clean products. There was a lot of contradicting information out there. One brand would say they were clean. Another brand would say this isn't clean, but then the other one would use it. And so I thought I really need to understand what's in the products to understand if they're harmful or not, right? What are the individual ingredients? And when I flipped over the bottles, I mean, these teeny tiny ingredients I had never heard of before. So I very systematically just started researching all of these ingredients. And when I would come across studies or research, they were harmful, I would track it, right? And then try to find products without those ingredients. And when I found products I loved, I would also save those. And once I got in, it's like I couldn't turn back. And so I just went down the rabbit hole and just learned more and more and more. And I kept track of it all because, for me, and then also just I knew that there had to be other people out there that needed this information too. And fast forward a couple years, in 2019, I finally organized it all into my blog, Switch Natural. And so I shared, good products that I had found, and also a lot of ingredient research in that blog, which is still up there. And my focus expanded to social media because I realized that's where people are looking for this information. And what was so cool is that the response I was getting, and I could have conversations. I realized this is how I'm going to help people, because we can have an exchange talking back and forth. It's not just this blog standalone out there. So it's grown into a little community that I love, and I've really enjoyed the whole process. It's been great.
Amazing. I love that. And I love that you kind of had the wherewithal to start looking into some of these products, because I feel like we don't talk about toxins enough. And it's so important for, as you know, for our fertility and overall health. So I want to talk about, yeah, totally. So I want to talk about beauty products specifically, and how there's so many toxins in, our lotions and our body sprays and all of those things that we use. I think I heard a statistic recently that said, like, we walk out of the house with over 100 different chemicals on our body if we're not looking at toxic free products.
Right.
Which is crazy to me.
It really is. We're just it's just a habit, right? We're using so many things, and I think we assume they're safe. We've been using them for so long, we don't think twice about it. Exactly. It's absolutely true.
Exactly. So where do you see these chemicals hiding? Like, what products specifically, or is it just really in all the beauty products that are not non-toxic?
It's probably in all conventional beauty products. So anything from personal care, like your body washes and your deodorant, soaps, to mascara, lipstick, foundation. It kind of runs the gamut in terms of products you're putting on your body, as well as products you're using in your house, like cleaning products. But I know we're focused on beauty, but really everywhere, unfortunately. And then within all the toxins that have different effects on your body, right? And then there's a whole class of toxins that are called endocrine disruptors, which really mess with our hormones.
Can we talk about some of those? What are some of those endocrine disruptors that you're seeing?
Sure. So there's like 5 ones that come up again and again in beauty, and that's phthalates and parabens. So phthalates, I'll speak a little bit to each one. Phthalates have been found in fragrance. So they're not always listed on the label, because fragrance is an ingredient where companies don't have to list exactly what's in there. So studies have been done on lots of products, and phthalates are in there. Phthalates disrupt testosterone specifically. There's been a ton of research over the last 20 years on this, and sperm counts are declining, and they believe there is a direct link to phthalate exposure. Phthalates are also used in plasticizers and nail polish. The next class is parabens. Parabens are preservatives, so they will be found in lots of beauty products like foundation, mascara, eyeliner. I really see those in a lot of places. Those also impact the endocrine system. And when I say that, I mean that they can increase hormones, they can mimic hormones, or they can alter the receptor site for the hormones. There's like a bunch of different ways that they can affect them. Another class is referred to as P.U.Z.Z.L.E, and that's per and polyfluoroalkyl substances. And so those are what are referred to as forever chemicals. I don't know if you've seen this before, but it's like once they're out there, they don't pass through. Like, as harmful as phthalates are, they're excreted through your body, right? Once you have exposure to P.U.Z.Z.L.E, they remain there. And P.U.Z.Z.L.E tend to be found in like waterproof type products, so like waterproof mascara. So in general, I'd recommend not going for the waterproof stuff. Another big one is the chemical sunscreens. They are big endocrine disruptors that you wanna try to avoid, and use just ones with zinc oxide that don't react. And then the last one I'll mention is polycyclic aromatic hydrocarbons. And those are contaminants in products like petroleum-based products like petroleum jelly, mineral oil, paraffin. They're also contaminants in dyes that are used in like lipsticks and things, because the dyes are derived from petroleum products that may not be properly refined. So you've got phthalates, parabens, chemical sunscreens, PFAS, and polycyclic aromatic hydrocarbons. Those are the big ones that I see in the beauty space.
And so how do we avoid these? We just read our labels, or is there a way to kind of look for products that might not have them? So I wanted to touch on that, but then also on how companies greenwash products and make us think that they're safe when they're not. So let's dive into
that's a great, and those are kind of connected, those two questions. And so I would say the way to avoid them, the biggest way is to look at labels, right? Look at the back labels, not the front labels. So that's where the greenwashing comes in. I think that companies have caught on that the trend is clean and natural and non-toxic, and that's what's getting splashed on the front of the products. But these labels really don't have any legal definition. So it's just a marketing thing. So what you really want to do is focus on what's inside the product, which is in the ingredients. And with the exception of like phthalates, you might not see that on the label, but others you will. You'll see parabens, you'll see the chemical sunscreen. So it's just being aware of ingredients that are in the products.
For sure. And I always tell people, you read the back of food labels, or you should anyways. So you're not going to ingest something that's chemical, but most people don't read the back of their beauty products, and your skin is one of your biggest organs. You absorb everything through your skin. So it's just as important to read those beauty product labels.
You're absolutely right. And I think that people that have started to look at their food, when they realize, I should look at my products, it's similar, right? It's similar. Once you get familiar, it gets easier. You make small changes at a time. You know what to look out for. It's just a process.
For sure. And you talk a lot about too, looking at individual products instead of store brands. So tell me about that. Why do you think it's important for us to look at these individual products?
Sure. So my observation has been, it's very rare that I will find a brand where every product is up clean, right? That has ingredients that I would personally try to avoid. And I think it's for a couple of reasons. I think sometimes brands don't know. Sometimes they start with a product and you like that product. The company later on gets bought. They change formulas. Companies change formulas a lot. So I really stress too that you want to not only check each product from a brand, but check it every time you buy it, because they might not change the packaging, but they might change the formula and you wouldn't know. So it's just a good practice to check each time you buy.
And to talk back about the greenwashing, it's so crazy to me because, like you said, you'll see a product that's like all natural or safe or organic, but then when you start looking, you'll see like, the phthalates or the fragrance or the parabens. And so it's so important to just put on your reading glasses so it's magnified, and then you can see the back of that later.
Yeah, or you know what? Go to the website. I always that's my favorite way to do it, because if you go to the company's website, they usually you can expand the key ingredients, right? You don't just want to look at key ingredients. You want to look at the full list, but then you can blow it up on your screen. It's easier to read. And I just think a lot of us are looking stuff up and shopping online. That makes it just a little easier.
For sure.
And in terms of labels, I should mention too, USDA organic is like the one label. It can be applied to beauty. A lot of companies that you're going to see in stores aren't going to have that, but that is the one that is legitimate, right? Is USDA organic, but natural, non-toxic, clean. There's really no others. It's just USDA organic.
Gotcha. So all of this sounds very overwhelming, and it's like,
sorry.
Where do we start? So tell us about your app. You've made it really easy for us to kind of start living non-toxic.
Yeah, sure. So the app is really something that I created out of a need for this community that I've developed on Instagram. So 90% of the questions that I get questions all day, every day are, is this product safe? Can you take a look at the ingredients? If it's not, what ingredients are the reason that you would avoid it? And also, if there are harmful ingredients, what would you suggest instead? And so I'm always answering these questions, and I was like, gosh, there needs to be an easier way for when people are shopping to get these answers, right? Some people are in the store or they're on their computer and they're waiting for my response, and they buy something and then they're stuck with it. They want to use it. We don't want to waste. And I just thought there has to be an easier way. And I brainstormed some different things, and really the app was the right tool, the right answer to make that happen. And so it really has been great, because I think it makes it so much more efficient for people to switch and not so overwhelming. You don't have to learn every single ingredient. And so when you scan a product on my app, if there's potentially harmful ingredients, it shows you that list. And then it also, I wanted it to be an educational tool. So if you want to learn about that ingredient, you can tap on it. It'll give you a description and also links to the research. So you can click through and read it yourself and sort of make sense of all of this if you want. You know, if you don't have the time, you can see the list, shop, find a better option, or if you have some time, you can read and start to familiarize yourself with ingredients.
For sure. I love that. It sounds so helpful, and I mean, so convenient, right in our palms. So I love it. And you know, I tell people this a lot too, and I'm sure you agree, but if you're overwhelmed, just start with one thing. Like when you run out of your lotion next time, let's see if we can get a cleaner option. When you run out of your foundation, and start slow and start to, instead of going through your whole makeup cabinet and throwing everything away, which is very overwhelming and expensive, just start with one product.
Yes.
Do you agree with that?
Absolutely. That is like my number one tip, is switch out as you run out. Like the most important thing to change is the thing you're about to run out of. And it's easy. And you really should, as overwhelming as this sounds, and I started out the gate with all these ingredients that are so harmful, but really it's a process and a journey. And if you can embrace it and not come at it from a place of stress or negativity, and just look at it as positive changes that you're making for your long-term health, for the health of your family. I mean, I think that it can be enjoyable instead of overwhelming, and you might find new products that you love, and you won't ever want to go back to the old stuff. So
exactly. And that's what I always say. Like, it's kind of, if you switch that mindset and you're like, this is fun, I get to try something new, and it's usually going to be something I'm going to love even more, you know?
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah.
Great.
And I feel like too, that companies are getting a lot better at, the companies that do make clean products, the products are even better than your toxic, the toxic counterparts. Whereas like even 5 years ago, I feel like that wasn't the case. And companies are getting better and better at using these all natural ingredients. And so it's nice.
You're absolutely right. Yeah. It's so true. It's night and day from when I started. Like in 2014, when I was looking for products, it was so hard to find something that actually worked. I mean, and you're not going to switch if you don't enjoy the product, right? Let's just be honest. It's just going to be too hard. And back then there wasn't even much need, but I mean, really, yeah. And even the last 5 years, makeup especially, makeup used to be the hardest, like foundation, mascara. I mean, those are some of the last things that I was able to switch over. But now it's like, there's so many options. If you've got oily skin, if you've got dry skin, like no matter what your concern is, there's usually a good option.
For sure.
And your skin feels better too.
Yeah, for sure. And I don't want to go into deep conversation around brands, but do you have maybe a couple that are like, these are my go-tos for, say, like makeup or, like lotion? I think those are the two big ones that I see.
So I guess it would depend. So it would depend on the product. I feel like I use so many different brands for each product, but for me personally, in terms of lotion and skincare, I like this brand called OYL Natural. It just agrees so well with my skin. They make a body butter that's very rich. I tend to like moisturizing. There's a Manuka honey cleanser that, for whatever reason, when I massage that in, I don't feel any redness. I don't feel any dryness. And I think that if you have those kind of issues with your skin, you will like this one. I do realize everybody's has preferences, but for me, that's like my skincare brand that works best.
Can you say that again? Because you broke up right when you said the brand.
Oh, sorry. Okay. It's oil. It's called oil, but it's spelled OY-L.
Okay, cool.
And then there's a store that I really like, and I often recommend. It's Paris Laundry. And they have an online store, and I really trust the founder's picks, the products that she sells. And there's a lot of the products that I use are on there. So that's another easier way to shop.
Gotcha. And then the last one, shampoo and conditioner. This is a question I get all the time. Like, what is a good one? What is non-toxic?
This is a hard one to switch. And I'll be honest with you, there are not a ton of great options, but the one that I love is Captain Blankenship. I've been using it consistently for a long time, and I just think it's the best one. Really, like the shampoo cleanses really well. I find the conditioner a lot more conditioning. I think a problem with switching to hair care, people find that it doesn't suds, number one, the shampoo. And this one doesn't sud as much, but if you add some water, or if you if you put some shampoo, suds it, rinse it, and do a double wash, you'll get a lot more in that second shampoo. And then the conditioner, I find a lot of them, the conditioners are just not moisturizing enough. They leave it really tangled, but this one is great. The conditioner is super moisturizing, and they have a nice hair oil that you can add in for like a deep treatment, or just put it on wet before you blow dry, that kind of thing.
Amazing. I'm going to have to look that up because I'm always in the search for good hair care. And you're right. There's just not any. Every time I try one, I'm just like, ugh. So
I know, it's a bummer. Yeah. You'll have to tell me what you think. I'm really curious.
Very cool. Very cool. I will. Cool. So we're going to take a short break. We're going to hear a word from our sponsors. We're going to come back and talk practical tips on how we live non-toxic. So we'll be right back. Hey y'all, it's Coach Kayla here. I hope you are loving this episode as much as I am. We will be back in just a minute, but first, a word from our sponsors. Hey girl, hey, Coach Kayla here to tell you about one of my favorite brands made by one of my favorite holistic mamas, Wellnesse. Wellnesse was founded by Katie Wells of the Wellness Mama blog, a mom who has spent more than a decade perfecting all natural formulas in her kitchen to create products for her own family that are human safe, planet safe, and that actually work better than conventional products. And now she's making non-toxic toothpaste, hair care products, and skincare for the rest of us. Bonus, they really work. I've been using the teeth whitening toothpaste for myself, and my teeth have never looked whiter. I love the taste, and knowing that it's non-toxic is just icing on my healthy cupcake. I have also been using their strawberry children's toothpaste for my two boys, and they love how it tastes. And it gives me peace of mind knowing it's toxin free and that it actually works. To tell you a little more, their whitening toothpaste is the only non-glycerin, non-fluoride toothpaste on the market. This all-natural mineralizing toothpaste cleans and whitens teeth, soothes sensitive gums, and leaves your breath feeling minty all day long. It has a naturally occurring compound in it that helps support tooth enamel and is 100% dentist approved. Check out their entire line of products, from non-toxic hand sanitizers, hair care, body care, and more. Wellnesse makes safe and natural ingredients their priority. And the best part, those ingredients actually work. Use this link, www.wellnesse.com/puzzle. That's WELLNESSE.com/puzzle and use my code PUZZLE10 at checkout for 10% off all of these amazing products. Hey, Andrea, welcome back.
Thank you.
Yeah, so let's go into practical tips. What are your top 5 things that we can do today to live toxic free?
Okay, so my number one tip, and you touched on this earlier too, is switch out as you run out. This is going to get rid of that overwhelm. It's going to make the process more enjoyable. When you're getting low on something, you start to look for a product that looks interesting to you. You can search. I have tons of favorites out there. Ask me and switch one at a time so that you don't get overwhelmed. The second tip I would say is pare it down. I think that we are marketed with so much marketed to us, so many different products that do we really need them all? So think about, what do you really use and love, and try to eliminate any extra products that you might not really need. That'll reduce your exposure. Another one is if you can avoid fragrance products, I think you avoid a lot of allergens, toxins, just in general. So start looking for unscented. When you're number 4, when you're shopping for sunscreen, look for zinc oxide only in the active ingredient section. That way you're not going to have any of the endocrine disrupting chemical UV filters. There's a bunch of them out there, but you should only see zinc oxide in the active ingredients section. And then last, I would say this is an easy way to avoid harmful products is look for shorter ingredient lists. If you don't know all the names of all these really long ingredients, you don't know what to avoid, usually a product that has fewer ingredients is safer, right? Mm-hmm. So that's just a shortcut.
I love it. Amazing tips. So thank you for that. And I would love to dive into the fragrance piece again. So, okay, we're supposed to use non-scented, but what do we do to smell good? Like, is there anything we can use?
Yes, that's such a good question. Okay, so when I say fragrance, what I mean by that is if you were looking at an ingredient label and you just saw the word fragrance or aroma or perfume, that means that there's ingredients that are not listed. But there are fragrances out there that even use synthetics. You know, some of them use essential oils, but they use synthetics, but they list them all. So we know what's exactly in there. So as long as there's a full list of ingredients in the fragrance, so if you see a product that has a scent, but it doesn't have the word fragrance in the ingredients, it might list each individual component of that fragrance in the list. Does that make sense?
Yes. And I love using essential oils. That's what I recommend to my clients. I'm like, just get like some rose oil or get like one of the really pretty essential oils. Like, what's the other one? Oh gosh, it's one of my favorite ones. I can't think of it right now, but it's one of the flowery ones. And so, yeah, just grab some essential oil, do a little carrier oil, and then you'll smell like roses all day.
It's a great tip.
Yeah. I love it. Cool. Well, tell us where we can find you, Andrea. Tell us where we can find your app.
Sure. So my app is available on the App Store and on Google Play. I am most active on Instagram, so you can find me at switch.natural. You can also find me on my blog, which is switchnatural.com. I have tons of articles there that I've written over the years about switching to non-toxic products. So you can just, if you're ever bored one night, you just want to read that. Also, you can email me at andrea@switchnatural.com. I really love hearing from everybody, connecting with you. I find that to be the most rewarding part of all of this.
Amazing. Well, thank you so much, Andrea. So fun talking to you and getting to know more about your app.
Thank you. I really enjoy talking to you too. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, for sure. And before we close out, I would love just a piece of advice. Do you have any words of inspiration you want to leave our audience with?
Oh, I would say just enjoy the journey. Keep going.
For sure. I love it. Amazing. Well, thank you again.
Okay. Thank you. Have a great day.
You too. And thank you, ladies, for listening to the Hormone Puzzle Podcast. Until next time. Bye. Hey, hang on just 1 second before you go. I want to make sure that you are aware of all of the amazing free resources that I have for you on my website at CoachKayla.com. From a fertility meal plan, a cycle syncing quick start guide, a holistic healing cookbook, as well as master classes, blog posts by me and some amazing experts in the fields of fertility, hormones, and nutrition. So many wonderful resources that will help you on your journey. And I wish there had been something like this when I was going through my 2 years of infertility, but there just wasn't. And so that's why I decided to create all of this for you. So make sure that you go and check it out and you take advantage of this plethora of support that I have provided for you. And spoiler alert, these were some of the same tricks and the same foods that I used to get myself pregnant, not once, but twice, even after my doctors said that I couldn't. So I know that these things work. Make sure you take advantage of that. And I cannot wait for you to be my next success story. So thanks, love. See you soon. Thanks for tuning in today to the Hormone Puzzle Podcast. Check out the show notes for today's episode at CoachKayla.com. If you like what you hear, please subscribe and leave a review. Thanks for hanging out with me, and I'll see you next week.